Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first daily wrap of Jumping at Willinga for 2019. It's nearly 12 months ago that Terry Snow and I came together. He asked me to come and work for him here at Willinga Park. I've shipped the family down here to Borley Point, and it's been one of the best decisions we've ever made. We absolutely love it. Terry and I had a vision, and that's why I'm here. We wanted to change the sport of jumping. So we've now done a full cycle of our daily wraps. We've done it for Dressage by the Sea this year, 8 days of competition. 3 nights of the Gold Buckle Camp Draft, we reviewed the sport. We know that if we can get people watching, get people talking about the sport, the more eyeballs they get, then the more sponsorship we're going to see. This is a little piece of the pie growing the sport. And 12 months ago, I sat down here for our first ever daily wrap, and the man sitting beside me was David Cameron. David, it's great to welcome you back here to Willinga Park, mate, and it's pretty exciting.
Cheers, Timmy. No, it's great to be back, mate. And every time we come to Willinga Park, it's it's an amazing venue, and we want to have more shows here, mate. It's great for the future of the sport.
So we're back 12 months on from where we were, December last year, new date this year, a little bit earlier in the season, and let's not hide the rabbit in the house. There's been a lot of talk about our arena and the lines down it.
Yeah, well, firstly, the date. I think the date's actually been really good. We've had some really good shows earlier in the year. We had Gatton and Caboolture World Cup only a month ago, and Waratah, and now we've sort of headed towards Willinga. And to me, I don't think I've been to a show where more people have been talking about it. There's been so much hype. I think a bit of the Australian Teams League has a bit to do with that. But everyone was keen to get back down here, and a big show, big money. Everyone's been pretty excited, so it's pretty cool.
$230,000 in the pot here this weekend, including the $100,000 on the class tomorrow, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But I alluded to it before, we're not going to hide, there's lines on our arena. And there's a bit of a story behind this, Dave. So 12 months ago when we were here, this arena flooded, and on the Sunday, anyone who will remember, we actually moved the whole show. Absolute nightmare. In February this year, we got the curators of the Sydney Cricket Ground and their head drainage guy to come down and give us some advice. We brought the machines down from Sydney. We put them on the oval, but you're not going to believe it. We'd had 30 mil of rain 2 days before, and it started to sink, so we couldn't put the drainage in. It went in June. It's been cold, it's been super dry for us down here the coast, and there are lines 10 metres apart running down the length of the arena.
Yeah, Tim, and we talked about it before the show. It has caused a fair bit of havoc. Some horses don't worry about it at all. Other horses jump them a lot. And then, of course, if you're heading towards the jump, all of a sudden, as they jump the line, the distance that you're on disappears. And, some horses, as I said, they did that a lot, and it did cause a few problems. The one good thing about being at Willinga, though, Timmy, is they've got the manpower, the machinery, and the sort of attitude that they want to fix it. It's been a big afternoon, and it looks much better.
So tonight we have actually changed our arena. We've gone and run sand. We did a test patch this morning, and fingers crossed tomorrow it works.
It looks good now, Timmy. I think that from being a thin line to a bigger line, I think it'll make all the difference. So.
Anyway, let's get into having a look at how the jumping went today. And of course, Class 101, the Welcome Stakes, thanks to CRT Agri-West, was the first class. And Tess Cook, look, she's been at Adelaide Royal with Billy Raymont and Rimfire Park Vogue, looking sensational.
Tess is very competitive and a very quick rider, and she jumped a really, really slick around, and it's pretty cute horses actually.
It's nice to know all this gear that you see on the arena. Terry Snow's invested nearly $110,000. We bought the gear off the winnings last year before it left here, and Horizon Show Jumps have actually now put all these jump. We bought a second set off them, so ring 1 and 2, but it's really nice to have the bright gear back out. And this gear's very light, takes a careful horse to jump.
It's very delicate gear. You can't touch the poles. It's going to be very influential over the next couple of days. It's definitely one show where you can't breathe on a pole, you'll have a fault.
You see their Test turning back inside. Last year the turf was a little bit loose. We've done a lot more work on it this year. I think it's holding up a lot better, and the horses, when not jumping the lines, we're jumping really well.
Exactly. No, the footing's good, Timmy, and it's a lot firmer than last year, as you said, and I think it's going to actually make for better jumping.
Well, Sally Simmonds won the class today. Clay went over to Spruce Meadows to hang out with Rowan Willis. Sal's come down from Burke. The first thing she said is, oh, thank goodness no dust. You got to feel for him out there at Kidman Camp. But she's a handy jockey, and she's got an amazing string with Clay leaving the country.
Yeah, she does, and she's a real winner, Sal. She has been for a number of years, and this horse wins a lot of classes. And of course, it was very, very quick today, and I think from the moment she went, most people would have thought she was going to win the class.
And, you know, her dad, Pete, is just a superstar too. None of these horses are easy. You know, they've done a super job, they're producing them, but every one of them has come because they're a little bit tricky, one little quirk or perk.
Yeah, true, Timmy. You know, all the Simmonds kids, they come from a real horsemanship background, and you know, they're turning into great little riders. And I think Clay and Sally are both, you know, real riders for the future.
It's nice to see Alice Cameron with these Oaks horses as well, backing them. I know Oaks Costanza's been going super in the World Cups, although Sally's going to be riding that in the Young Riders later on, and Alice, you know, Oaks Sport Horses, wonderful supporter here of the show.
For sure, it'll be interesting, Timmy, whether with Clay being over in America, might you know, fire him up to base over there or do a few stints over there, which would be pretty exciting for him.
Well, we'll wait to see where that comes, but a super round there from Sally and a super win. We're so happy for her to have done that. Hey Dave, you talked about the hype here at Willinga. This year with 2 rings, it's doubled the number of people, and there's just such an atmosphere.
Oh, even the welcome drinks last night, it's so many more people than last year, and a really cool feel. With the bars down there, it's still hammering pretty hard, so you know, it's pretty cool. Everyone's excited to be here.
Yeah, they certainly are. We sent a cameraman out a little bit earlier on today to grab some footage, so let's take a look at some of the highlights of day 1 here at Jumping at Willinga. Ladies and gentlemen, what amazing footage our camera crew are getting out there. The jumping's been electric, and in the break we welcome back to the panel Dave Cameron. We're joined by the gorgeous young Michelle Lang-McMahon. Michelle, welcome.
Hey Timmy, thank you for inviting us to the show.
Hey, it's so exciting because tomorrow is the first leg of the Australian Jumping Teams League. February this year, phone call from Langy. She said, Timmy, I've got an idea. We've got to do something. We want to change the sport. Up there at Aquis, they've run the Teams League many times. And she said, what do you think? I said, well, first thing, Willinga Park's in. We have a team. Make sure you book me a spot. And tomorrow it kicks off.
I know, so exciting. It's a concept that I've had in my mind for a few years now, and I try to showcase it, hoping people would just run with it. And it had no momentum, and I'm like, Timmy, let's go. So finally tomorrow, first cab off the rank, you're the first show, so I'm really excited to see how it goes.
It's going to be pretty cool, Dave, when Team Willinga Park take the 40 grand check.
It'll be a very nice finish to the day. Michelle, you've been in the sport for a while. Have you seen anything that had as much momentum as this Teams League?
Not in Australia, no. Not in the years I've been in the sport for a long time now. And you know, the World Cups have died off, and then everyone's starting to go to Europe now, and everyone can sort of afford to make that step now, and now it's like, okay, we need to bump this up back home here. So
need to give a reason for riders to own those horses. You know, we need to say, hey Dave, go out and buy the Finch Farm Clifford horse that you've got, put him on the team, get into a team's position, and then you're going to work hard to stay there. And it means that there's a bigger lick of the pie. $480,000 over 4 shows is up for grabs.
Yeah, very true, Timmy. And what it also does is it makes your owners want to keep hold of them. You know, if there's something that their horse can compete in, that's a big event, that's a showcase, that's televised, you know, it's only good for the sport.
Most certainly is. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, but I thought we'd jump in now to the metre 25 today, very hotly contested, and Queenslander Olivia Hamoud picked up second place on that beautiful horse Sundance GHP, and first time here at Willinga, already in the money, tough competitor.
Yeah, she's pretty hard to beat, Liv. She's competitive every show she goes to. She did our Jump Club Champs in Sydney last weekend, and she won a number of classes. She had a very good string of horses, including this one. It's a very nice jumper and very careful. So.
Langy, you've seen this horse come up through the grades, Queenslander. You've seen it since a baby. We don't see it as much down here on the East Coast, but she's done a great job producing this with her grandfather has a share in it, Brian.
Yep, Olivia is a top jockey. I have seen her from the get-go in the 70 centimetres at Caboolture, and she was very classy right from the get-go. It's definitely one to watch, and it's exciting for Olivia because she's probably the hardest worker I know, so she deserves every success that comes her way.
And a Pride's Easy Feed sponsored rider as well. Huge thanks to Pride's for their sponsorship of us here at Willinga Park. Every horse on Willinga Park, all 110 of them, only eat Pride's Easy Feed. But what about this man, Shane Rose? He bought this horse as a 7-year-old. It's a mare out of Europe, and this is his backup plan for Tokyo if Virgil's not right. He's been there before, he's had the heartbreak. He said, I need a plan B. Lovely jumper, could make it as a show jumper.
It's a really cute jumper, this one, and Shane likes doing this. He likes coming to our show jumping shows and winning a few classes. He never comes for a can around, and yeah, all his horses jump very well today. This horse is actually owned by one of Shane's really good owners, Angela Shacklady. She's owned a number of really good horses of Shane's, and yeah, this is going to be another one.
I think she's top quality. I spoke to Shane about it today. I said, you know what, I think this is the nicest one. I've seen you, I've been in on a lot of teams, not with Shane, but when we've been jumping at the games and stuff like that, and I said, this is top, and he goes, oh, she's top, but maybe not as good as his Vivant one at the moment, but she is all quality.
The interesting thing was having Shane Rose and Stuart Tinney down here today. We are planning to launch our new jumping arena next year in 2020. Mid next year, we'll have the largest ebb and flow arena in the Southern Hemisphere, 130 long, 70 wide, with a 50 by 70 warm-up right beside it. That will be the start and finish of a Mike Etherington Smith cross-country course, which is going to be just unbelievable. Those guys are so excited, and they said we had to come today because they want to get their foot in the door to be here for the eventing.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting for the equestrian community in Australia, mate.
So the thing we love here, guys, about Willinga Park, and we're so fortunate, is when you come to Willinga, it's not just a showground. And I think, Dave, you were saying your mum and dad have come, Tal's mum and dad have come. You know, last year we've had all these different groups. I know Brooke Langbecker's grandparents came down last year. All these families come because if you're not horsey, there's heaps of other things you can see as well.
That's for sure, mate. It's a real destination. Like, you know, it's a beautiful part of the world. The property is unbelievable. So there's a bit for everyone. You know, it's not just a horse show, which is pretty cool. That's why my parents came and Clara's parents came. So yeah, no, it's and a lot of other people's parents and friends and owners, which is, you know, really cool.
Here at the property we have some architecture that's actually been winning awards. So again today we sent our camera crew out to have a look at some of the beautiful buildings designed all wholly and solely by Cox Architects, Australia's leading architects. with over 35 permanent pieces of art here on view, as well as over 10 acres of pristine gardens that are open every day. If you haven't been to Willinga Park, the first thing everyone says as they drive through those front gates, the pictures don't do it justice. So make sure you get down here. We're open only during events. This is the last time in 2019 that you can set foot on the hallowed turf of Willinga Park. Well guys, we've got the 135, the last class, and as Team Willinga, Dave and I were very excited to see Billy Raymont take first and second here this afternoon.
Yeah, no, it's always good when Billy's on song, and today he definitely was.
And this horse, the YPH Capulet, nice horse, new addition to his team, and it's stepping up and looking like a real serious player.
He was super at home on the World Cup shows, very competitive. I watched him gimpy onwards. And he's sharp enough, and I don't know if it's his team horse tomorrow. Has he got using Anton as his team horse?
Anton will be his team horse as team manager. I can actually confirm that one. Yeah, Anton will be his team horse, and this horse is, one of two. And Billy, when he's on, he's always one to keep an eye on, first and second here today. Off the back of Adelaide Royal. He literally finished jumping the World Cup last Thursday. He was home taking young horses to Borneo on Saturday, Sunday. He arrived here at about 8:30 Tuesday night, he and Tess, and he's done all of that with a broken foot.
He has. He's been hopping around since Waratah, or before Waratah. But it's always good to see this horse come out and fire the first day of the show. All the competitors know they're in for a tough show when that happens. Like Anton's a world-class horse, and when he's happy and comfortable in the ring, he shows that every time. So it'll be pretty tough for the other teams tomorrow, having Anton and Billy leading the Willinga team, Timmy.
He's going to be having the sit. The draw will be done a little bit later tonight. Of course, all of that will be on Showtime Equestrian. They've got I think it's called All Clear, going on to Channel 7. Steve Dundon's suddenly been involved, and Hamish Douglas is there as well. But Langy, it is really exciting to see the hype that's happening there.
It's huge. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants in. Everyone for next year is thinking about whose team are they going to be in. They're already poaching riders.
Yeah, and this is the thing for everyone. It's all about
it's strategic now.
Strategic, because the under 25 model, which we haven't really talked about, there has to be an under 25 team member in that team for the teams league. Actually, does throw the cat among the pigeons, because you can have a really strong team, but you put that young rider in there, hasn't had the experience of some of the others, and could go either way.
And if you don't supply a young rider, you get a 6-fault penalty.
Straight up.
I think it's a genius thing of the whole league, though, the whole concept. It's going to be good for the sport, because it really pushes those under 25 riders to step up and jump those big classes and thrive in that sort of team high pressure situation. So I think it's great.
It's an incentive.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well, all of that action is going to be coming here tomorrow morning, 7:30 start. The Teams League should be kicking off around 1:40, but keep an eye on the live stream via the Willinga Park TV website. Dave Cameron, you got a pick for the team?
Mate, Team Willinga Park's going to be pretty tough to beat tomorrow, Timmy, I think.
Yeah, look, Langy, have you got a pick for us?
Langy, who have you got?
I think you guys are like favourites. You have to be favourites for sure.
Look, I obviously...
You're too short for me to back, that's for sure.
Look, I'm obviously on Team Willinga. I'm so lucky that I work for Terry Snow. I literally threw him the idea in February this year, and he said, well, where is it? Where do I write the cheque? And he wants in on this. He wants to change the sport. So I'm obviously Team Willinga. But you look at it, like Chatham Park, like you've got Amber, you've got Kate, you've got Amelia, you've got Tom. You go in Equine International Air Freight, you've got Chuggy, you've got Gabby, you've got James, and you've got Elliot as their under 25 rider. Like that's just 2 teams. We could name all 10 teams here tonight.
I do think it's anyone's game, really, Timmy. It'll be a really exciting competition, and anything can happen, particularly when you add that pressure of a team situation and lots of prize money.
Well, Dave, we'll see you here tomorrow night. Langy, thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for having an idea and kicking us all up the posterior to get it into gear and see what we're seeing today.
Pleasure, exciting. Good luck.
Very good.
Good luck, Team Willinga.
Yeah, we're swaying the panel here. When you run the show, you're allowed to do that, but we'll be bringing all the action. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. If you can get down here on Sunday, the Grand Prix, $70,000, $25,000 $1,000 to the winner will be kicking off at 12:30. As we said before, photos don't do this place justice. I live here, and every day I still drive in the front gate and go, wow, look at it. Come and join us. We'd love to see you. But from here at the panel, thanks Dave, thanks Michelle. We'll see you all here tomorrow from 7:30 when we kick off with day 2 of Jumping at Willinga 2019.